Data warehouses. What are they? How can we use them? How are they different from other types of storage, databases, or storage services? And what does it look like in AWS? I have so many questions. Let's get into it and learn a bit more about data warehouses. Starting with, what are data warehouses in the first place? When we think about modern databases, we're usually using them for daily queries. If we want to know, for example, how many customers do we have right this very second, then a database is very, very useful. But if we want to do a historical analysis of data, well, that requires something a little bit more different. For example, if you start asking things like, how have our sales improved over the last 6 or 12 months? Or show me the last hour's worth of sales across all stores in all countries. These are questions that require constant analysis of data. And the tricky thing is that data is always changing, it's always being updated. What's more, that data can be very spread out. Maybe you're looking across many different parts of the business, from sales to finances to internal systems to product and inventory. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. When things start to get too complex for a regular database, that's when data warehousing comes in. Data warehouses are designed specifically for complex data and for looking back in time over that data. In Amazon, a great example of this is Amazon Redshift. Amazon Redshift is a tool that is used as part of the AWS suite of tools and services, specifically designed for historical analytics, for looking back in time over a very, very large set of data. You can run SQL queries on Redshift that covers a huge amount of data and use the tool Redshift Spectrum to actually run those queries effectively. Now, when we're talking about big data, just how big are we talking when it comes to data in Redshift? Well, you might know a gig, for example, and then 1 terabyte is 1024 gigabytes, and 1 PB, which stands for a petabyte, which is pretty crazy, is 1024 terabyte, and then an exabyte, which is this big one down here, is even larger. It's 1024 petabytes. So you can see that, we're talking about a lot of data here, and Redshift can actually handle the very bottom here, this huge amount of data. But what it does to actually handle it well is it's making use of what's called a data lake. And a data lake is a really interesting concept. It's where we can store a lot of unstructured raw data. So what Redshift does is it allows us to store all of our data in a data lake before it actually starts getting pulled into the data warehouse where we do all of the analysis and start looking over the trends over time. Redshift is a super cool tool. It's really useful for very, very large amounts of data for doing that historical analysis. And it makes use of data lakes to actually store all of that huge amount of data and then be able to run all of those analysis and trends on it. Thank you so much for watching. Happy learning, and we'll see you in the next video.